This post-it note contains everything you need to make $1 million doing what you love. This is what the event, the workshop, Master Making Money is about. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you about why I'm doing this event. This event for me gives me the chance to do what I love most, which is to speak. So this is the deal. You come to the event and you give me permission to do what I love, and in exchange, I'll teach you how to master making money, how to make $1 million in your dream business. Principles are simple, very, very simple. The process is extremely difficult. And over the last, how old am I? I'm about to turn 30. I'll be 30 at the time of this event. I have literally over the last 12 years of my life, since 18 years old, never had a job that I relied on for income. I've survived purely through my own businesses the entire time. And up until recently, I kind of normalized that. And I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. You know, I made over $10 million in my dream business a few years ago. And over the last few years, I've worked an average of 10 hours a month, probably, and made around $300,000 a year, working about 10 hours a month. And to me, I thought that was shit, to be honest with you, because it was just normalized. And I was kind of judging myself for not being in the game on the level that I want. This for me is my passion. Doing this is my passion project. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how at this event, I'm going to teach you to master making money. There are a set of skills. There are a few things you need to have locked in place for that to happen. And they're all written on this post-it note. I'll tell you, there's nothing missing. I'm just going to tell you them all now in this video. And then you get to discern whether you're ready to break through, to come to this event and have me hold space for you to crush it in your dream business and finally be able to transcend scarcity and being owned by your need for safety and security outside of your own capacity to do what you love and make money doing what you love. Instead of for me, it's just a standard. There is no way I will ever do something that goes outside of me doing what I love. It's just a standard. And the same thing will happen for you when you leave this event. But the process is very, very difficult. Right from 18 years old, I went through and I implemented some of these things to break through and start making six figures in my dream business. Definitely not my dream business. Just in business, cold calling tradies to sell them websites at 18 years old, and then had that as like a six-figure business. And then in a digital agency and a few other projects, I had a SaaS product, and I was doing some dating coaching, and I launched an app, and then I sold my shares in that app. And I've been in about 12 different businesses, all the way from zero, $100,000 revenue to $4 million revenue a year. And I've done over $10 million in a coaching business, which is my dream business. But there's only a certain set of skills needed to master business from zero to $1 million. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. There's only a certain set of qualities that are needed. Most of those qualities are underpinned by courage. You don't have to be super smart. You don't have to be you don't have to know heaps of stuff. It's very common sense based, but it does challenge our inner character to be able to make it happen. And that's why you need support with this. That's why I'm here. It is very fucking difficult to break through in business because all the shit you need to do to break through requires massive courage. So I'm going to try to fucking get all this across relatively quickly. The first thing you need to have clarity on what you're actually going to do. Even if you've already got a business and you just haven't broken through yet, you need to nail the structure. It needs to be profitable. People need to want to buy your shit. That's the first. There's like five different steps on this. It's like the napkin business plan. See, I never have fancy shit in business. I've never had like a full hardcore, let's design it perfectly. Like what you would have seen to come here with like my cover photo, my Facebook profile. It's just a messy cover photo. Wasn't done professionally. I did it in 5 seconds in Canva. This I wrote down in like a few seconds, and now I'm just doing this video messily. Doesn't fucking matter. It's got nothing to do with what makes the business work. I'm offering something that you want. And it makes sense. This event is $2,500 plus GST. To pay $2,500 to learn to make $1 million is a great deal. It's an obvious deal. That's why you will be fine to pay. Even if it's a stretch for you financially, if you can't afford that, there's a big problem here because there's a entitlement. So I want this, but I'm not willing to give this. Don't get me started on entitlement. It's a huge gap for people that haven't broken through yet from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur's mindset. Because when I used to run, I had over 1,000 people small business owners go through my last company, through most of which went through a $20,000 program, and we had a guaranteed 6 figures. So you go, how would you get someone to pay $20,000? Well, we literally had a guarantee you were going to make over 6 figures, build a 6-figure business if you followed the methodology. Anyone that followed the methodology got it. We never had someone that claimed the refund because no one that did the work ever got it. It's just difficult to do the work. And that program was all around strategy. And we taught some mindset principles, but in this workshop, you're going to learn and master who you need to be to make money. So first stage of the workshop is every single person that's there locks in exactly what it is that they're going to do. Who are you working with? What's your actual offer? What's the price point? Nailing that, at least as a draft, but locking in the direction. This is what you're doing. This is where you're going. We've got it. It's a fully aligned. You can't choose better than what's fully aligned in the depth of your heart, slash and combined Venn diagram style, with me approving the strategy of it and not be set. So that's the first thing that we're going to do in the workshop. You have to have that nailed because the mind's so sneaky. Whenever fear's involved, the intellect, which is the gatekeeper of the nervous system trying to keep us safe, all it wants us to do is not change. So it's going to tell you anything, it's not the right time, I'm not skilled enough, or I don't know, I think I need more one-to-one coaching, not a workshop, blah, blah, blah. Anything to have us avoid. No, we need more time to get the offer better. No, it's, I just need to have more product development. Anything that it can do to avoid you going outside your comfort zone, it's going to do because it thinks it's keeping you safe. So clarity and nailing the foundation of what your business is going to be and locking it in is the hardest part because that's the biggest weapon that your intellect has. The biggest thing that stops you from starting is knowing what you're going to do and focusing on it. It's very difficult. And I'm a master of helping. I've helped literally over 1,000 people nail this. And it's very difficult to find someone that has the scope in business across so many businesses and working with so many business owners to know how to combine passion and profitability. But I will make sure that you have that in this event. You will nail the foundation. You will fucking nail the structure. And it will not change until you break through. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is the qualities needed. I'm going to just teach you, who do you need to be? What does it look like as an entrepreneur? And it's not hustling 24/7. There are certain qualities. One of the biggest ones is courage, but how that applies to action taking and what sort of actions, what does your week look like? Where should you channel your time to get a good result? And when I said I was making around 300 grand a year over the last few years, working 10 hours a month-ish, that was just because I know what to work on. I know where the important tasks are. That doesn't mean they're easy. They're difficult, but they're simple. And so understanding the qualities, who do you need to be to thrive? And this is why I love business. Business is it's kind of like relationships. It's a personal development engine. It's every level from $0 to $1 million is a new devil, and you have to know how to hold space for what you really desire in your heart over and above fear. You need to find your insecurities. It challenges the fear of social rejection. That's what business does. Massively challenges the fear of social rejection. You have massive fear of change, which are inbuilt fears that we have. So understanding the qualities needed, the time scope, what your week looks like, where you need to channel your effort and attention, is very, very important. And alongside that, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, sweet. After we've got the qualities down pat, it's understanding the strategy and the theory behind having $1 million business. Understanding what are the business principles you need? What does it look like to effectively market? How do you sell? And they're very, very simple. They're things that you're going to grow and evolve over time. But once you have the understanding of the qualities, like the internal qualities, the external strategy to get from $0 to $1 million, then it's about understanding knowing your personality type, knowing what is going to work for you, and how can we leverage your skill set? How can we leverage what you're good at in a marketing and sales capacity to get you from $0 to $1 million? And you don't have to go to $1 million, by the way. But you see, because it takes courage to do what's required in business to break through, it's almost like saying you're going to hire a truck that costs $500, $1,000 to move your house, and then you only move one armchair. If you're hiring the truck, you may as well fill the truck and transport more stuff. It's like it takes so much courage to start your business. You got to launch out there and say, everybody, I'm doing this. You've got to be vulnerable and an authentic leader and put yourself out there in a big way. You need to take courageous action. So for example, if you put out like a marketing campaign through Facebook and you get a return and it's working, and you're putting $1,000 a week into ads and it's producing $3,000 a week, so you're profiting $100,000 a year, you may as well spend $5,000 a week instead of $1,000, and then make $15,000 a week instead of $3,000. You may as well profit $10,000 a week instead of profiting $2,000 a week. Why? Because all you need to do is spend more money. And if you're already going to the full effort to go, like if you're going to put all this effort into trying to set up a joint venture partnership, a marketing / sales strategy to find your qualified target market, you may as well try to set up a joint venture, which is going to be a big one that gets you a lot of clients. It's going to take the same amount of time, energy, and effort. So people don't I just want to be full-time in my business. Well, to do that, you're going to have to do a lot of courageous action. And we may as well just, you're already going to be scared shitless. So we may as well be scared shitless and get a great return. That's why I say $1 million, because the same skills to get from 0 to 100K is what's required from 0 to 1 million. And yes, there'll be times where it requires more energy and effort if you go bigger, but not that much more. So you kind of may as well go bigger. So anyway, figuring out what aligned action looks like for you, leveraging your personality type and whatnot, that's another massive part. And then taking what I call domino actions in the event. Now, a domino action is when you leverage motivational willpower, which is, you might have to listen to this bit again, which is a finite resource, leveraging that to, while you have the motivation there, because I'll motivate the shit out of you in the room, but then when you leave the room, what the hell are you going to do? You're not going to be as motivated the day after, the day after that, the day after that. So for me, I struggle to take action big time. Like doing this video and launching this workshop has been debilitating for me because I'm terrified, because I really want it to work, because this is my dream business. And I'm really scared if people won't come to the workshop, and what if it doesn't work, and all these things. So it's normal. That's what is alive for me. And I find this really difficult. So what I need to do is I do domino actions. When I'm feeling motivated, I make a decision, which doesn't take much time. It's not that hard, but it does take courage. And then I don't need to be motivated moving forward because the domino action has my back. So for example, I hired like a $20,000 coach who every single week when I catch up with them, they say, hey, you got to do this. And I'm like, fuck. Now, motivation aside, it has to be done. It's not like I'm having to motivate myself. So I was motivated. I hired the coach. For the next 6 months, whether I like it or not, I'm taking big action. Another one I did when I was like, another domino action is I took out a lease on a big office space when I grew my larger business in the past. And it could fit 40 staff. I had one staff member at the time, hired a 40-person office space for 12 months. And then within like 6 months, I had like 12 to 17 staff. So the motivation was there. Walking into an empty office every day, I didn't have to refine the motivation because that one action of getting the office space just had me set. Didn't have to think about it after that point. It was done. And so in the room, we're going to figure out what domino actions align with you so that the marketing and sales efforts that we've figured out that align for you can be executed, and you're not just stuck in that procrastination. You kind of have some healthy pressure, and I'm going to teach you how to like align to your heart and stay present in the joy and the love and the alignment through that process. But fear is inevitable. We can't get rid of our nervous systems. They're there. They pump adrenaline and cortisol through our system. I'm feeling nervous about this workshop the same way that you'll feel nervous about your thing. We're going to do it together. But the domino actions are a big part of the event because then you'll leave and you'll be set. We're going to take big courageous action, make big decisions in the event together that keep you on track post-event. And the last thing that we're going to do is, like, if you do that, boom, you already know what, you're mastering making money. You've already mastered making money. At that point, you know what to do. It's not harder than that. That's it. You know now. You've got it. You've got your clarity. You know what to do. You've started doing it. You've got actions that lock you in for the future. Boom, you're set. Breakthrough, done. That's it. And that is a ridiculously hard thing to find, to understand all of those in one place and have someone hold space. This is the last point. Point number 5 is you're going to break through. There's going to be a lot of mindset stuff. Because as soon as I say, cool, this is your clarity, and like we work together and we lock it in, this is the best possible thing that's on the table right now. People want that product. Let's go. Then what happens? Massive fear causes paralysis. So we need to then, it's when stuff's coming up, which is going to come up for everyone the whole time, stuff's going to be coming up. I'm going to hold space mindset-wise using breath work, using mindset breakthroughs, using shadow work, inner child work, whatever's needed. We're going to go deep and make sure that we support the mindset blocks that are blocking the stuff that we're going to do in the workshop, because it is going to be terrifying in the workshop. It really will be, but I'm going to be there lovingly hugging you while kind of like slapping you simultaneously with so much love, so that your dream business gets off the ground and you finally get over these stories around scarcity and actually know how to fend for yourself. Have that power in who you are to know what it's going to take and to hold space for that breakthrough and finally claim the new identity of I'm a master of making money. It is done. This is me. Never again am I going to worry about money. Never again am I going to go back and feel the dread of getting a job that I don't want to do. You will, moving forward, as long as you follow what you learn, and you might have to transition to this point. Just because you come to the event, it doesn't mean you quit your job instantly. It might be a transition. But when you master the qualities and the strategies and you take the big action and you follow the dominoes that already come out as a result of that initial domino action, you will get to a point where you transition quickly, and you will stay there for life if you continue to embody what you learn at this event. I've got your back. It is time to shine. It is time for you, because my mission is to support people that have the beautiful awareness of consciousness and have the connection to wanting to be fulfilled, to then get to have that masculine structure and power to be able to keep safety. Because it's so funny, I've known a lot of workaholics in my time, entrepreneurs that are making a shit ton of money and they're completely disconnected. And then I've known a lot of hippies that are very connected to their heart, but they don't have that other quality, and they're emotionally, like, they feel unsafe all the time. They're doing jobs that they don't want. They're constantly feeling scarce and limited and contracted, even though they're connected to spirit and oneness and source energy, which is so beautiful. How do we combine the two and master the tangible money-making stuff so that you break through in alignment and can make money, master making money, doing what you love in your dream business? That is what this is about. So, $2,500 plus GST for this event. It is affordable for anyone. And if you try to tell me that it isn't, you're not ready for the event. Okay? When I was 21 years old, I hired a $50,000 plus GST coach for 12 months. I didn't have $55,000. I had to borrow money for the deposit, and then I had $1,000 coming out of my account a week. I had to make money to stay in the program. It was difficult. That's what's required to master making money. And $2,500 is so cheap. That's the event. And if you have questions or you're nervous, I've got your back. I'm going to hold you lovingly through this whole process in the event, but you've got to have the courage to say, it is time. I'm ready to master making money. I'm ready to let go of the stories that I don't care about money. I'm ready to let go of the stories that it's not the right time, or it's not in alignment, or whatever the bypassing tools you're using are, so you can actually do what you love and feel safe and secure and certain and grounded and powerful in who you are. It is your time. Let's fucking go. All the details for the event, you've seen them. If you need more, PM me, DM me on Facebook or Instagram, at @TheRyanMagic on Instagram. I've got your back. Let's do this. Boom.